Welcome to another episode of A View from the Stands podcast, a podcast brought to you from the fans, for the fans. This week, we're meeting up again on Zoom, and we're going to be discussing our dream guests, people we'd love to see on the podcast. So if you enjoy this episode, please follow us on Spotify and YouTube, and also our social pages, Instagram and Twitter. Thank you and enjoy.
Welcome back to the second episode of the Zoom sort of series of episodes of A View from the Stands. If you caught last week's episode, it was the first sort of time we've been doing this through Zoom, because obviously coronavirus meant that we can't sit around a room and record these podcasts. But we thought, you know what, we'll power through, make the best of a bad situation and try to get some episodes out. And sort of today's episode is focusing on where we're going to go next with the podcast. Obviously, we would quite like to be in a position where we can speak to a few different people from the world of football and elsewhere. And so today we thought we'd all discuss everyone's dream guest. I mean, we're not saying we're going to get these people, because we'd be chasing some real big. Easy. I don't know, we'd be overly ambitious, but we thought. And if you want to get involved with this, just tweet in and say if you'd like to. If there's some people you'd like to get involved in the podcast. But first, we'll just touch on the week that's just happened. And I suppose we were just talking about how it's been quite a lot of things that's happened this week. So is everyone keeping well first?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Yourself?
Apart from the hay fever today, so apologies if I'm sniffing. Last week it was the birds. This week it's going to be me sniffing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wasn't very well yesterday, and I turned into Harvey now. I've got a bad back, so I don't know what's going on.
I know you're
slouching, mate. That's why.
I know
don't do it
against the wall.
True.
That's what I'm trying to keep straight.
Yeah, I might have to do that next week.
Yeah.
At least we're not passing on any illnesses or anything, as we're sat all currently miles away in different areas of the country.
Definitely
so,
social distancing here.
Socially distancing to the max. You will not find them. Well, I'm actually no, not disclaimer. You will find probably more socially distanced podcasts, but this is definitely one that we've made a big effort to socially distance. So, what sort of things have happened over the week? Obviously, teams going back to training now. That's pretty full and looking like they're returning to contact training. So, anyone want to first give their opinions on that?
Oh, well, it's looking like the season's going to be back soon from all accounts, isn't it? So, I mean, some people don't like the Bundesliga, but I think it's. I watched the Bayern game and then I thought it looked all right, to be fair. So, if the Prem's like that, then I don't mind, to be fair.
The league is back as well, isn't it? Soon, very soon.
Yeah, I think it's next weekend or something, weekend after next.
Yeah.
I watched that Dortmund game, and it was very close to what it would have been like normally with how we know football. The pace was good, it was intense, good skill, top quality game, but it's just still something missing. Obviously we know what it is, but it wasn't the same.
Did they try and pump the sound through? I heard something about them trying to pump sound through or something. From like fans or something.
I didn't watch it myself.
I heard something about that, but I was wrong.
I think it's because I think the camera angle, they didn't film the empty stand, so you just saw the borders around it. So I thought that was a bit better because you're not focusing on the massive empty stadium.
That's true.
Focusing on the game. It's better, but it's not ideal, but it's the next best thing, isn't it?
I suppose you got to work with a bad situation, really.
Definitely.
Sort of something Connell mentioned. So I've heard, obviously, there's rumours about teams trying to make some sort of artificial crowd or something. What do you think that effort should be made, or do you think just play because obviously there's not going to be fans, so just go without the fans? I'm talking about things like playing crowd noise. There was a rumour a long time ago that in this country they might play artificial fans for the TV broadcast, which would be even weirder.
West Ham said about that, didn't they? West Ham said they're going to try and... West Ham would use Zoom. They were going to use Zoom. And put it on the screen.
That's just a recipe for disaster.
End in tears, yeah. It'll end in tears. I did quite like Leipzig's goal music when they scored, and that I watched the first game they played when they were back, and they put goal music on when they equalised. That was quite fun.
But is it Glad Brussian
Mönchengladbach?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Mouthful.
Great name.
Are they the team that got the cardboard cutout fans?
Yeah.
In the stadium.
Yeah.
It does actually. I saw the picture on Twitter of the game from the camera angle. It does actually look. It looks all right. I know it's a bit of banter, but it doesn't look too bad. It does actually make it look like people are there.
As soon as one of them gets hit, though, they get straight over.
It just gets knocked off, doesn't it?
Head just taken off, clean at the shoulders.
I wonder how long because that's 13,000. How long does it take to put 13,000 bloody cardboard cutouts? I mean,
I wouldn't be doing that.
A few hours out, wouldn't it?
Would they just leave them there like forever as well? I mean, like, they wouldn't take them down.
It's going to be a bit annoying when you come back to the stadium and some cardboard cutouts got your seat, isn't it?
I was going to say, somebody's
chucking them down.
Tap on the shoulder. Excuse me, mate. I think you're in my seat.
If it rains, we're in a bit of trouble as well.
Stop melting away.
Wind.
Blown onto the pitch.
Bollocks, the cardboard cutouts are getting soggy.
Do you remember that famous paper aeroplane throw that went on the pitch?
Wembley.
The one up from the top with one of the cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Just put it down.
You just go for a goal, you see a 6-foot cardboard cutout flying at you.
Well, now I think they've got them. They might as well not waste them. I say, after this, keep them. When they don't make full attendance, fill the empty seats in with them at the end of the day. Everyone thinking, it looks rocking there. Sat next to the cardboard cutouts, all right. Unless you like MSS stood up.
That'll do Forest the world of good, doesn't it?
Brilliant. The cameraman accidentally zooms in on a cardboard cutout instead of a person.
He's absolutely loving it. Got people
He's
making Twitter accounts of cardboard.
He's speechless.
Cutouts.
Lost for words.
He's lost his head.
Cardboard cutout. I paid 60 quid for this seat. When they put the pictures up when they're sat behind a fucking pole or something in the ground.
Yeah.
I had that at Ipswich once. Genuinely, my seat was just the whole pillar in front of the seat.
It's like ridiculous. That Burnley as well. There's like the wood, because like a wooden stand, there's like a brown wooden pole right in the way.
Perfect.
So annoying. I was just like, we lost 3-0, and I was just like looking around. I was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, I think you're better off watching the wooden pole there. Then.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Funny about a story about someone in someone's way at a ground. First I went to Molyneux to watch I don't know, Wolves versus Stoke thing was, and this guy was standing up in front of someone else, and he was like, sit down, and then next thing you headbutted him. Police dragged him out. So yeah, great introduction to Molyneux.
Brilliant.
Headbutted him.
He's
like, extreme.
I'm not going to do a Wolverhampton accent, but sit down.
I thought when you started that story, you were going to be like Connell was stood in front of you and he didn't shut up for the whole fucking game.
Yeah, right.
That was Connell.
Waving his scarf about. Like.
If somebody stood up in front of me at Wolves Stoke, I'd be like, stay there, mate, please.
Please. Doing us a favour here. Is it still 0-0?
Please don't move. Brilliant. What else have we had going on this week then? So along with the Premier League returning, I suppose there was also the Premier League. Did everyone see the schedule of what the games would be like?
Tasty.
I mean, we're talking a game every 2 hours for about 4 days in a row, isn't it?
So we're going to become couch potatoes.
Yeah. Right, it's already am.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's a bit like a World Cup schedule, isn't it? Like they're all packing it into the games in one day. This looks class, actually. But
it would be mental.
Not sure how it's going to go in some households with other people watching so many games, but we'll see.
What will it be on? Will it be on Sky, I suppose?
Well, this is the argument whether it's going to be. They're on about it being free to air. Like the government want to put pressure on the Premier League to make it free to air, but obviously Sky Sports and BT need the money really for what they've lost out on. So it's a bit. I've seen it from both perspectives, can't you? Really? Like,
La Liga's free for Sky users, Sky customers. That's what I saw on Twitter.
How's it going on Sky?
Yeah, they're going on Sky, and it's
great.
free for Sky customers. is what it was.
That's good.
To be honest, I kind of think they're like. Sorry, I was going to say they're probably not under any due restriction to make it free to air. If you think about it, it's not any other time. I know, obviously, because of coronavirus, if it was free for anyone, it should be for the people who already had season tickets and stuff, who've already paid for tickets, etc. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you want it to be free to air, but you kind of think like, why? Because it never is anyway. People miss football games all the time because they're not on TV. So I don't get why it should be now.
On that topic, I got an email either yesterday or the day before saying that the last 6 home games have been refunded for Villa season ticket holders.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Fair enough.
That's good going.
It is good.
Well done, congratulations. You put your money.
I think all.
Hope you're happy.
I think all clubs should do that. To be honest.
He's frozen, isn't he? Tom's frozen there. Look at him.
No, he's contemplating it.
Like, oh no,
he's thinking that's not. He didn't like that joke.
Oh, there he is.
It didn't go well for him. Just a joke, Tom. Jesus.
What's that? I didn't hear anything for about 40 seconds. Then. Yeah, we know. Froze on me.
Tom, I'm the one on 4G, not you.
It's gonna make good viewing this.
Yeah, we just absolutely took the piss out of you for 40 seconds straight. It was brilliant.
You were just sat there.
Take it well.
I was deadpan.
Cardboard cutout you look like.
Did you hear what I said about the Villa season ticket?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was before you froze off.
Yeah, brilliant.
But that's good. We said. Good stuff.
Yes, I feel like you'd imagine a majority of clubs are doing it. I wonder if any top fans.
Forest haven't said anything yet.
Have they not?
Wolves yet.
No, I've got a Derby away ticket and a Sheffield Wednesday away ticket still that they haven't refunded or anything. So I don't know what's going to go on with that.
Shit, they're probably two of the most expensive away tickets.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, but I've still got the Sheffield Wednesday ticket here. If I want to go next season, I might give it a crack, see if it works.
Scan it on the thing. There's been cases where that's worked, hasn't it? People will turn up with a ticket from years ago and they'll just scan through.
Oh, they might have.
I've seen it. I've actually. Where did I see it? I think this was a United one ages ago. He had he had a ticket for Anfield away from 2005, and this is only a few years ago. Just walked through and scanned it, and it got in as well. Result.
How does that even happen? Especially two big clubs like that.
Yeah,
it's mental.
It definitely was something like that.
I had a thing like that once when I went to wrestling, and
wrestling.
I know I'm going off subject a bit, but it's he was actually there that day as well.
You definitely wear the mask to Wolves games with Jimenez when he scores.
No. Anyway, basically, me and my dad went, and we sat down in our seats, and then this lady and man came over, and we're like, "You're in our seats," and we're like, "Huh?" And I was like, "No." Let's have a look. So we looked at each other's tickets, and we're like, "Well, this is our seat." So then we went and had a look, and then we came back and they were sitting in their seats, but apparently theirs was counterfeit or something, so it was fake. So they had to leave. So luckily we got our seats.
You grab.
Get rid of the touts, mate.
You could have worked something out with them then.
It shouldn't have been in our seats.
You should have just said, look, we'll keep quiet for £10 each, and you buy all the drinks and food for the night. How's that sound?
The big question is, Connell, should they have been in your seats, or should you have been going to the wrestling at your big age?
No, this is
it's only 6 months ago.
No, this is like 7 years ago, so...
Yeah.
Do you get up and chant and everything?
You sit down.
You do.
Undertaker comes out, he runs to the toilet, he's that scared.
It is quality. It is quality. If you get a chance, you gotta go.
Yeah, I actually have been to wrestling before. I've been to one in Southampton.
It's good.
Oh, you stayed silent then.
It's good to be fair, isn't it?
It was a mate's birthday.
Right, okay.
It was. It's about 10 years old. Great night out. Proper good night out.
It is
Sweating,
good. It is.
Yeah. Sweating like no tomorrow. Got really involved. I was nearly in the ring.
Which footballers would make good? Which footballers would make good wrestlers?
Grant
Robbie
Holt,
Savage.
he is a wrestler, isn't he?
Yeah, Grant
Holt,
Holt.
yeah.
He is Gradle, yeah.
Jason Cummins as well,
Yeah.
Cum Dog. That video
Cum
of
dog,
him wrestling.
yes. Class.
Yeah, Robbie Savage I think would be a good wrestler. Don't know why. Just feel like he's got the vibe.
Robbie Savage.
He's got the hair.
He's got the
Poor
hair.
shout.
I think you need a bit more than long.
All right, Akin Fenbar.
Oh.
I'm going to fight him.
Robert Hoof.
I think Wayne
He'd give
Rooney.
some-
Wayne Rooney had a fight with Wade Barrett once.
Yeah, he did.
He slapped him.
Don't
Yeah,
know about
he
that,
did.
but he did.
There wasn't no
Took the drink
fight. He
over.
bitch slapped him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney got knocked out by Phil Bardsley.
Did you
That
see
was
the one?
class,
Iconic.
Did you see the one when Floyd Mayweather was supposed to like pretend to hit that wrestler, but then he accidentally broke his nose, and then he chased him out the ring.
Yeah.
Like, smacked him in the face, broke his nose.
Mm.
We
that-
spoke too much about wrestling here. We spoke
It's
too
all
much
right.
about
Sorry,
wrestling.
I've
Should
Course.
we just do a WWE podcast for it?
Yeah, I think so. A view
course,
from the
that's
SmackDown
absolute-
stands.
versus Raw.
I've caused chaos now. man.
I'll dress up as
Playing
your
for the
favourite
American
wrestler.
audience.
Brilliant.
I'll have
We'll
to
do
tap out
Twitch
of that one,
streams
I
of
think.
playing like old WWE games, I reckon.
Another thing that happened. Celtic won the league, didn't they?
Yes.
Celtic are now
Did they?
champions.
Do you know what?
I
We
missed
might as
that
well
one.
just keep this section of the podcast like every year. Like, it's just, Celtic won the league again, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, Dave. And Scott Brown grew hair. That was the more interesting bit. Scott
was-
Brown's got hair now.
Yeah.
So him
Should have
holding
led
his
with
trophy,
Scott Brown
didn't he?
grew hair.
Yeah, he doesn't look as hard now. He looks a bit soft. I wouldn't
There's
really
no
be scared of
trophy
him.
parades for it, for them winning the league. Surely not.
They're probably later.
Don't
weren't they?
think they'd be
Well,
able
they did
to.
last year, I'm pretty sure, didn't they?
Did they?
I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Oh, get in, yeah.
I don't know what they do.
I don't
Neil
know.
Lennon. Neil Lennon is manager as well. Still, he's came back again and he's manager.
It doesn't matter who they have as manager. It literally doesn't.
No.
They had Brendan Rodgers at one point, didn't they? And that was the
Mm.
best they're going to get.
Rodgers
really.
is class, though. Rodgers is
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, he was good. That was a good little manager to have for them. Don't know why he went there. But
Get some
No.
trophies on. Get some trophies on your CV, I suppose.
they don't count.
It don't count, does it? It don't count.
Yeah, sorry
Honestly,
to
any-
all the Scottish listeners. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
sorry
actually
to-
like Scottish football is quite funny to watch. Not in terms of like if
funny
you
to watch.
Not like no. I don't mean like Celtic and Rangers. I don't mean Celtic and Rangers. I mean like the bottom, like the lower teams. They all piss like the fans at their games are funny to watch. They're all pissing
Right.
around. Like people take throw-ins, someone punched one out of his hand the other day or something. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
The
You always see it on
players
Twitter. Yeah, it's brilliant.
No, we won't go too much on dissing Scottish football. So well done to Celtic for your 75th title in a row or something.
51.
No.
Rangers
51.
getting a point closer each year.
Yeah, he's all right. When Rangers got too close, they put him into administration, didn't they? Give him a
Probably.
little chance to get a bit of leeway, Celtic.
Chuck him down a couple of leagues. That'll do.
Start the rebuilding process before they play Barca in the Champions League again.
Yeah.
God. Where else have we been this week in football?
you see.
I mean, not a
some
lot.
championship. See, was it yesterday? I think the championship confirms 4 cases of positive tests for coronavirus, and I think it was Elliot Bennett, the Blackburn captain, and then 2 or 3 Fulham players or something.
2 Fulham and then 2 Hull as well, wasn't it? Saturday,
Oh, was
last
it?
Saturday came out.
Yeah, I saw
as well,
Mm.
I think.
Oh, something, yeah.
But I think it's a bit dodgy on the whole side because they haven't won the last 10 games or something ridiculous. They really don't want to play the rest of the season because obviously they lost Bowen and Grzycki in the
Yeah.
January deadline day.
Well, that's the thing with like the championship. I'm not saying this, but the argument should the playoffs just start.
It sounds like you're
Yeah.
slow motion on
Yeah.
Spotify, mate.
No idea what you just said.
It sounds like
Oh,
you're slow
really?
motion on Spotify, yeah. If you haven't
Alright.
done that of our podcast, give it a go. It's brilliant. Put it into slow motion, listen to our podcast. Excellent. Even
No,
better.
I
listening.
was, if should the playoffs just start now? Because
Yeah, they are thinking
Well,
about
if
it, aren't
you're-
they? Like,
if you're like 17, why would you want to play? Or if you're, what's
Yeah.
the point of risking it?
they are thinking of doing the playoffs, like weighted points per game and going straight to playoffs, which I wouldn't mind. It gets us into the playoffs. We'll see us go
Yeah.
up. Simple as that. Easy.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure. it's still up in the air a bit, isn't it? All that stuff because championship teams returned Monday, didn't they? Back to training, and there's been a few cases in that, so it's a bit of a sticky one still, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
and just on to end the sort of news segment, we had a sad news, a loss of first it was Dean Smith's dad who passed away yesterday, sadly.
Yeah.
Which is obviously sad news a year on from playoff.
That was sad because his dad was a lifelong Villa fan as well. And when he was manager, Dean Smith, he didn't even know because of dementia and that. So that was quite sad.
I think his dad used to be a steward at Villa Park.
Yeah, they said something about that in
the statement.
The statement they did.
And obviously Christian Mabulu as well. He was only 23, so that was the sad one as well. Obviously, when someone dies at a young age as well, it's a bit of a shock. So it's sad about both of those. I think we'll move into the main topic of the podcast. So, like I briefly mentioned at the start, is that we've been talking about potentially trying to get some guests on the podcast. Just have a few different people to speak to. Whilst we're in this situation across Zoom, it could make it easier. And we've just looking to see who would your dream podcast guest would be. So first, I'll go around and ask everyone to give an explanation of who. I'm looking first at your number one. You have one podcast guest.
Oh, wow.
What should we do? Should we do football and non-football for this, or football one first?
Just go for football first, I reckon.
We'll go for a football one first.
football first, yeah.
All right, go on then. Football one podcast.
I'll start then, shall I? I'll start.
Yeah.
You on?
Go on.
Got to be
Morgan
David
Gibbs
Beckham.
White.
No. David Beckham.
Right,
David
okay.
Beckham.
Go on,
You just got a crush on him, mate. That's all it is.
I think, to be honest, I think everybody's
blame
got
you.
everybody's got a
Hang on, no, not everyone.
Oh, you just said you don't blame me, so.
I don't think I could listen to that voice for an hour or so, to be honest.
I couldn't listen to
I
yours.
was going to say.
I'm joking.
Connor, I won't talk about accents, but yeah.
Go on, Connor. Give us the reasoning. Why Bex?
He's just been everywhere. He's done everything. People have
He's
copied
my
his
hero.
hairstyle. Yeah, my hero.
I love him so much.
But he's a proper legend, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I bet he's. Yeah,
He's got,
I don't know how. If
Go
you
on.
did have him on a podcast, I don't know how open he'd be about things and what he'd say and I think he'd be very uptight. But if he was to give you, if he was to just let himself go and give you stories, I bet he's got some great ones.
Yeah, you got loads of people he's been with, like different managers, and you got so many people.
I thought you meant girlfriends.
No.
I thought this was taking us, huh?
Don't stitch him up.
But
He's been with just so many people. I want to ask him some tips, How do you stay that good at 40, David?
Terrible, Terrible.
Can I pull a caveat on that? Just a little point against David Beckham. Even though I love David Beckham as well. Would you not go for someone who hasn't been interviewed as much? I feel like David Beckham makes quite a lot of media appearances and I spoke quite a lot about his career. I was just thinking, if I was going dream one, I'd probably go with someone who doesn't speak in the media as much. Because
yours
there's
then, Jordan?
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, you put me on the spot here, mate. I'll go around everyone else's, collect some ideas out. Once it gets to me, I would have pulled one out. If I was going to go my dream one, I probably would say, and then maybe contradicted to my last point, probably Sir Alex Ferguson, probably.
Yeah.
I just think, just as a United fan, I don't think as well, compared to Beckham, I don't think you see him come out and speak as much, not in detail anyway. Obviously, he does the occasional, he's had autobiographies, but they only get a certain point. I think just someone who would just be really interesting, just to pull quotes out of the game. And if not him, Mourinho. Can you imagine the entertainment factor of Mourinho on the podcast?
He'd be brilliant.
He'd be someone who would chuck anyone under the bus. So you'd get some great quotes out of him, wouldn't you? He literally would. It would just be a whole hour and a half of him digging at people. So you'd like that. So either one of those, really, I think would be both interesting in different ways. Go on then, Harvey.
I'm not going to go with someone like Gerrard is obviously up there as one of the ones I would love to, but I won't talk about him. I'll talk about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I would love to have on a podcast. He'd be, because for starters, he's from Portsmouth, same sort of area. His dad also was a footballer, wasn't he? Mark Chamberlain. So I'd love to learn about like, his upbringing and all that. And I think he's quite an interesting character, Chamberlain, as well. I think he's quite like, he'd be good value. Like he loves to talk. He's quite fun, entertaining to watch. Like when I've seen him in videos and that.
He's not just like a robot, is he? He actually.
No, yeah,
he's
he seems like an actual good character to have.
Yeah.
And also, I'd love to know the side of the Little Mix thing going on with Perry and that.
It's coming out
I was
now.
waiting for that.
There it is. That's what
Who
it
gets more-
Good for that,
Who
mate.
gets more like engagement? Who like does he get more distracted? Does she get more like attention? All that sort of thing. And
No,
also,
what you would do, you'd put him on the spot and ask him if it wasn't Perry, which other one from Little Mix, rank him in order or something.
No,
We know, we know.
You know what he wants to do? He wants to learn how to do that dance he did on the stairs.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
brilliant as
yeah.
well. See, he's got a bit of entertainment about him, and I think he's at Notts County now, but he was at Rugby Academy.
I remember, my older brother played against him as well.
Yeah.
I remember actually being there that day he did. I think
So
he was quite good,
yeah.
but that was against Portsmouth, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a family he's got. So I think it'd be a really interesting person to speak to, and like I think he'd give very open answers and like enjoy himself whilst doing it. So, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you've got my vote.
Go on then, Mr. Hartley, who's your guy
Tom's
then?
thinking about it. Look at him.
Yeah, I was going to say
oh,
he's
he's
got to
back.
get.
Sorry, lads. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties.
Go on then. Who'd your guy be then, Tom?
I'm going to say this because I thought it would have been said before me. It's got to be Roberto.
That is a fantastic shout.
I was going to say
I'd
that.
have to get Roberto on.
He's foreign, isn't he? So I don't know whether he'd understand us.
All right,
Hey,
Connell.
we're accepting of
fine.
all people.
No,
here,
I mean,
Connell, all right.
no, but I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We might have to get subtitles for him.
Sorry, if we got Bielsa in and he said, "I'm going to bring my translator, but I can't speak a word of English now. We're not having you.
True.
You're foreign."
No, sorry.
Foreign.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that'll be
I
two
did-
dream
we had
guests
a
then.
disclaimer: no foreign people on the podcast. Right, that's a joke, by the way.
Roberto, you're open with welcome arms. Open arms.
I'd love to have him on. Yeah, literally, open arms and butterfingers. Love to have him on. I'd love to have him on. Ask him, how he feels about Pellegrini, blaming him for the reason he lost his job. See him.
I think he'd be quite rash.
A signed
His
shirt.
keeping.
Get it up in the studio when we're back.
Yeah, I think he'd
Think he'd
actually
be
hate
brilliant.
us if we even tried with Roberto. I think he'd hate us for the whole.
I'd
I'd
Come
like
on,
to know
check
what
it.
his home routine is on training. I reckon he's type of get the goalie gloves on, chuck a tennis ball against the wall type guy. That seems
Give
like
up.
his type of business.
Drops
I'd
free.
love-
I'm going back in.
I'd love to ask him what he puts in his hair because
Yeah.
that's always slick.
It's a wet look gel of some sort, isn't it?
some crude oil.
God. Go on then.
So that's me, Roberto.
Good choice.
Finish
Good
us
choice.
off, Alex.
Mine's a bit like different. I remember Adriano from Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me out because he's in like the gangs in favelas now, isn't he? But he used to be
Oh, yeah.
like, one of the best strikers in the world. So I'd
Yeah.
like to kind of ask it because he also suffered with depression and stuff like that. So I'd like, he's quite
That would be
complex,
interesting.
like, to go from playing for Inter Milan being one of the best and then to,
You'd have quite a story.
yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. Yeah, we need a translator because, he is
Once again.
Horrible.
Yeah. Is that all right, Connor?
Yeah, that's fine.
We allowed that.
good.
I'll think about it.
Maybe a security team as well because he sounds quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see
And,
that quote? Was it Javier Zanetti, the old Inter Milan captain? He said
Yeah.
something like his biggest failure or something in football was not getting the best out of Adriano or something, saying how everyone could see his deterioration in the dressing room, but they could just never sort of get his best back after he started suffering with mental health issues. So.
Yeah. But he's
it's tough to come back from that, isn't it? And it's probably a lot different as well. Mental health was treated and like looked at back then. I know it wasn't too long ago, but
10-15
it's
years
came
ago,
on a lot
so-
recently, isn't it? So yeah,
He was a hell of a
probably-
player, though, wasn't he? Hell of a. He's
Yeah.
a bit like Ronaldo, like up front, the Brazilian Ronaldo, like a bit of a similar
Yeah.
sort of style. Good feet.
It was like on one on PES 2006 where he's just
99 power or something when they
99 everything something like that.
Beast,
Yeah.
absolute beast. Talking about that, FIFA, Anyone seen KSI's video? Recent
No.
FIFA, playing FIFA 20, and he has Drogba up top.
Yeah,
It was like watching him back in 2012.
Drogba's
guilty. I don't watch him like very often, but I saw that come up and I thought I'll give it a watch.
Yeah,
and it
I watched
was
this morning.
good. It was worth the watch, to be fair.
It was brilliant. I can't wait for part two.
Is he like going bold if he gets a certain amount of
Yeah, if he
streams?
goes
He
to
goes
top,
to
right.
number one in the chart, innit?
But he's currently second. He's happy with that because
He keeps on like giving loads of publicity to 975, don't he, to keep them at the top, so he don't get there.
But it's all a like trick in it to get people to listen to it more as well. It's clever. It's very clever.
Yeah,
You've got to give it to him. He's a genius. But
Big up KSI. Anyone would want him on the podcast?
God, I'll take it.
yeah, I would.
No.
I mean, take
He'd be
him.
brilliant. He'd be brilliant.
Wouldn't turn him
Get
down at
views
this
up.
point.
Well,
Nah,
he's
mate, not for me.
He's from Watford, isn't he? But he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Well, it's worse. There's worse than that. And there's like people from London that support Manchester United, like in terms of like rappers, like Stormzy. Like he has nothing.
Yeah.
Like that was just a weird one I found. Like
Yeah.
but
So I've got another idea for a guest I think would be good to have on, and it's sticking with the goalkeeper theme.
Oh,
I'd
God.
absolutely love to have the goalkeeper on that you scored that screamer pass, Connell.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Never recovered.
I'd love to ask him.
he's probably still
from his
crying in
point-
his room right now.
From his point of view, you know, how good was that goal and what did it feel like to concede on Mother's Day?
I think that's doable. When everyone shouted shoot, what went through your mind? Get back, right back on the line.
Yeah, that would.
Do you
be,
reckon you could get him on for us, Connell?
No, I couldn't.
No.
He's
probably not.
he's conveniently disappeared.
Yeah, I seem to have lost his number, but
Yeah, right. Yeah. One of those.
He's probably still crying in his room. He's let his mum down on Mother's Day. He's not coming out of his room ever again.
No. Gap in
Ruined
between
someone's life.
Connell.
Hung his gloves up.
I
I don't
did
think
see him.
there's
I
any
did
coming
see
back
him
from
walk off. I did see him walk off. I just thought he was like being substituted or something.
He just walked up.
He was like, "That's it. I'm not going."
Full on Simon out the in-betweener sat on top of the shed, like legs crossed.
Another one which I'd be brilliant. He'd have some great stories. Neil Warnock, he'd be
Yeah,
super.
he'd be a good one.
He would give you so much rubbish, wouldn't he? That you'd love to hear.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it in a format of we do a watch along of his like the documentary from like years ago, the Neil Warnock documentary. Watch along with Neil Warnock.
The team
just
bonding. What was
question
going
what
through your
each
head
was.
with this?
What was going through your head when you made him run into the sea?
Brilliant.
Nah, he'd be a good one.
I think with him as well, there's so many people who don't like him, but you've got to respect. He wouldn't have been in the business for so long, like 70 years or something. However long.
I think it's the older age that don't like him. Like my dad doesn't like him.
No,
It's those sort of people that hate him because of like what they remember of him and like just him.
Mm.
I think it's just your dad hates him.
But you got to
I couldn't
respect.
stand him
You
at
got to
Cardiff.
No,
When we
Well,
was in the Championship playing against Cardiff, they were just
Oh, yeah.
they were such
They
a
were
shit
horrible.
team.
I loved
rubbish,
it. I
yeah.
loved it when we beat
Season they
them
finished
on
second.
penalties.
Love it when
Yeah,
we beat them.
Loved it when they missed two penalties. That was quality.
I think there's
Yeah.
lots of different avenues you could go down with Neil Warnock as well. I mean, you've also got to ask him about being a landlord as well. So you could play old, like, get clips from like Channel 5, like tenant programs, like Can't Pay, Take It Away. And then we talk to like get Neil Warnock to get his view on it as a landlord.
That would have to come up, wouldn't it? The landlord situation.
I think there's plenty of content we could do around Neil Warnock.
He probably owns a pub somewhere as well or something.
He definitely owns a pub,
A
doesn't
little
he?
cheeky brewery.
No dogs allowed.
Yeah. Get him
So
out here.
I think Gaza has to be up there, doesn't he, for one of the.
Oh yeah,
Trump
that was someone did actually reply that on the people.
I watched
replying to the tweet.
Have you seen that Netflix documentary that he had?
Yeah,
I don't think it's
saw
like
that.
a Netflix one, but it's like interesting because he's a bit more complex than it actually
Yeah,
comes
that was
across.
2015, I think it was. That came out.
Yeah,
that was.
yeah.
I watched it when it was that. Yeah, that was quite good.
but I think
did
I
enjoy
bet
that
he
one.
has some. There was a story when he I think there's a builder and he was hanging off a ladder on the back of his van and he's driving it round the roundabout at like 60 miles per hour. And build was like flying off the back of it, stuff like that. But
It is
it'd be a good one.
mental.
That was a
Nuts,
crazy
yeah.
story. That was.
One of a kind, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really, one of a
Yeah.
kind.
I've
had it
just
all,
thought of
didn't he?
someone who had, I'd like sort of in a similar vein. I think it'd be really interesting to speak to Raval Morrison,
Oh yeah,
because
Yeah.
I've heard some of the rumours about his upbringing, which hasn't actually ever been said in public. 'Cause he's not someone who speaks often in public. But there was,
Probably not allowed.
I remember, I'd heard
Probably
something
not
on a podcast ages ago from someone who knew him. He was like, mate, at the time he didn't even know how to use a toothbrush or anything. Like he literally was he was like in poverty, like growing up. Like he didn't even know, like he didn't know like basic things like that. Like he was from
Jesus.
such like a gang culture that when he made it, like was going to make it in the first team at United, he just struggled with that, the mentality of having to give up, like hanging out with the people he hung out with who were from like some of the roughest areas in the UK and stuff. So it would have been interesting. You're talking about not just any kid, but you're talking about someone who Ferguson rated as one of the best he's seen. This is like Alex Ferguson at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And some of the things you've seen him do, like even if you look at some of the goals in his short and like obviously limited career, he scored some unreal goals. West Ham in the Premier League, he took it from the halfway line and took it past everyone. Stick it in.
brilliant.
I mean, I know that's what you could say it's a one-off, but in the Premier League, you've got to be at like a real high level to pull off something like that, haven't you? So
Yeah, he was, when I watched him, he was brilliant. I saw him against Fulham and he was really good. Like he came off the bench and like changed the game. He was on his day phenomenal. But
and someone you've got to think
factors
he's only
behind
20. He's only 25 at the end of the day. Like so
He's only 25.
Yeah.
But once again, he's been at Sheffield United this season, and if there's any manager in the Premier League who's going to put him in his place, put him in gear, it'll be Chris Wilder who'll give him a bollocking, you'd think. And he's obviously not done anything at Sheffield United. They loaned him out to Middlesbrough, and I don't know. He's got to take some of the responsibility himself.
Yeah, no,
because
100%, obviously, but also, I never really, unless I might be wrong, I didn't hear anything about him kicking off or anything at Sheffield United. There wasn't any of him
not much came out
missing
about
training.
it,
I just think it's one of these cases. I don't know if he just wasn't up to the level, or like I don't think that system would have fit him anyway. Like the type of player he is,
he's not going to work as hard as the rest of them, is he?
No, they need someone who can cover every blade of grass. They would have had him on, signed him as someone they could have got like 10 minutes to go. Yeah, if you pardon the pun. But no, he definitely would be an interesting one to speak to.
Definitely, yeah.
Has anyone else got any?
I think we had a tweet from Charlie Bruce who said Jimmy Bullard would be a good one.
Yeah, the thing with him, he'd be excellent. But he's told his story so many times. I feel like
yeah.
Like, you've heard every story he's got, hasn't he?
I actually think
he has his own podcast at one point, I think, with someone, and then he also obviously Soccer AM all the time. And
I actually
think celebrity.
I actually think that he'd be a good person to have on because I believe like the way he is, I believe it's maybe like more of a front, maybe. So I wonder if he had any issues like that he could talk about.
Yeah.
Because
like, he does bring a lot of energy, doesn't he?
Yeah, everyone sees him as a like a chappy guy and funny and everything, but obviously at some point you would have had low points in your career and stuff. So it's interesting to see if he had.
Definitely.
I saw him.
I think.
Have you seen Tubes from Soccer AM? He has a YouTube channel where he plays golf with ex pros. I think it's a good YouTube channel because they're good interviews. But he had Bullard on, and he was just pissing around so much, like in the golf buggies and all sorts. Like he is just a proper character.
Yeah, he's perfect for a podcast, and he really a bit of energy that you need. Another one, which was go on, Alex.
We're just quickly just people who are like dead now. I'd say someone like Brian Clough. He'd be interested, and like George Best. He would have a few
George Best,
good stories, stuff like that. But,
George Best would be good.
I saw something the other day when Brian Clough punched a Forest fan when they're
when he on the pitch. They clipped his ear. There's some stuff he did. I don't know if he'd got away with nowadays.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
But obviously, he was a quality manager. Like he got players playing. He knew what he was doing. Like no one would probably argue with him because they know you just can't argue with him. He'll be right at the end of the day, even if he's wrong. But
have we got any? Have we got any non-football suggestions for people? Just from your other interests, who's someone you'd love on a podcast?
A wrestler, maybe.
Wow. Oh, who would I want?
Stumped us here,
Tiger,
Jordan.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. Cool. You get some stories off him as well.
I mean, he's had a life, hasn't he? I mean, best golf player in the world, and all the troubles he had, and how he came back to win the Masters. Is a proper story behind him.
Mm.
I think
Definitely.
the next best interview is going to be when the Gallagher brothers reunite.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say to
Get
Tom.
them
Maybe
two together.
music. He'd
That
have the
won't
Gallagher.
happen. It'll never
That's
happen.
going to be it'll never happen ever.
I don't think so. I don't want it to either, to be honest.
Who would you rather have on the podcast though, Liam or Noel? See, I like you think about it and think Liam's better entertainment value, but he kind of speaks out quite a lot, whereas Noel is more of like a thoughtful, like he more like think through what he says rather than obviously Liam's good like entertainment value, but he spouts off quite a lot. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
don't
Be
know
honest,
whether to take it at face value or not.
I'd take either, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you take either, but
I think if you wanted to talk like get a funny one, then you do Liam. But I think if you want an interesting deep one, then you do Noel, don't you? Like if you want to talk about music and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I missed about 20 seconds of that then. Sorry, lads.
Oh, you have a nightmare tonight.
You're just in
Oh,
and
man.
out, mate.
Let's just get you
man.
outside, get the birds going again. No, I don't know. In terms of non-football, Jesus, maybe
Anyone
a bit of maybe someone like it's just so obvious, but someone like Drake could just be brilliant to speak to and see what like how he's gone around things. Obviously, he had something about his kid as well and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Kanye West, another great one, would be
Kanye would be a good one.
lots to talk about with him. But
He's got like he's very like, and obviously with his personality and stuff, he's very like, but he's
Yeah.
good in interviews. In interviews I've seen him, he's probably the only person I think I've ever seen in interviews. Like someone asks him a question and he'll just stop, and he could spend a minute, he won't say anything, he'll just think about his answer. I know,
but he
obviously
can because
sometimes
he's
you're
so like
yeah,
he's so
you're on his
big,
time, mate. At the end
he
of the
can
day,
just literally do what he wants and wait half an hour for him to reply.
yeah.
What about Charlie Cooper and Daisy May Cooper?
Oh, that
yeah,
would be
that'd be
good.
a good
That'd be a
one.
good shout.
Yeah.
That would be very good.
There'd be a laugh, wouldn't there?
Have you
I
seen
thought
her
you were gonna say my
Instagram's so
neighbours.
funny? Her Instagram's hilarious.
Don't you make
Daisy May.
TikToks now?
Yeah,
I saw her
TikTok
TikTok the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I did see
they'd be
that.
good.
But
To be fair, they'd be good in the sense you could talk to Charlie about football as well.
yeah, he loves his Fulham, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He used to be a model, didn't he?
Yeah, Fred
Yeah, he
Perry.
got
and that. I
scouted
think
on
he
the
still
street
does,
or
doesn't he?
something, didn't he?
Oh, does it? Oh, yeah.
I think he still does a little bit of that stuff. But, yeah, that is quite interesting. He's got quite an interesting lifestyle, isn't he? Charlie Cooper.
Yeah, they'd be good. Anyone from like films or anything? Any film
Oh,
stars or
I
anything
don't-
like that?
I was going to say, I did forget, but Dwayne the Rock Johnson, I was going to say. It'd be
Yeah.
I think probably more than probably what you'd expect. Actually,
what
I feel like he'd be good. No, he'd be good.
you think he would be?
Yeah, well, he's technically the biggest film star. Like, if you look on the amount of money his films earn,
Mm.
he's like the biggest film star in the world at the moment.
People would definitely listen to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get your views in.
We'd get a few more views. Wouldn't
So
we?
yeah, go on then. We'll have him.
We'll take
Only
it. I
half
mean,
an-
anyone
only-
we suggest, we will literally take. There's not one of these people we'd be like,
Only half an
I don't
hour,
know if
though,
you want
please,
it.
Dwayne. You don't want 60 minutes a year.
I think a good one would be David Mitchell. The guy with the picture.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
He'd be
Yeah.
funny
Oh,
one.
is it? Oh, I think I do know him now. Then you said Peach. I don't know if I knew it.
Mitchell. That one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna-
that's brilliant.
I was going to give him
I
a
like that
mention
one, did you?
earlier. You know,
Thought he was here for
Wow.
a second.
I was
Wow.
thinking about his sketch about football when he's like on about
Oh,
football,
yeah.
like football,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
football. That's
Yeah.
what that football schedule's going to be like, isn't it?
That
Two
makes-
teams play each other in more football.
That sketch really does annoy me because it does sum up football. It's like
It does.
It is,
yeah.
it's
just like,
perfectly
that's so
sums-
annoying. Don't say that. Like you don't want it to be true, but it is actually so true. Like you're
It's
playing.
like those
never
Sky
ending.
Sports adverts are so
Yeah.
annoying, aren't they? It's like,
Yeah.
I think I spoke about this before, and it's like, I don't know, Super Sunday, and it's like Luton versus Plymouth. And you think,
Yeah.
Watch that. That's pretty super to
Super
me.
Sunday.
Plymouth away.
Football. The never-ending game of football that just keeps going on and on and on. If you think about it, it's so true. Even now, though, it's like a pandemic, and we're still one of the main issues has been when's the football going to be back on?
Yeah.
Because it's a never-ending game. It's like we've got to finish the football that's going on at the moment before we play more football.
Well, I think that's when it got on real for everyone, didn't it? Because we weren't really taking it seriously, and then Arteta got Corona, and then they cancelled it. Like, oh god,
Yeah,
we're in a bit of trouble here, aren't we?
we couldn't take scientists seriously, but as soon as like the football got cancelled, just everyone was gone. Nah, mate.
Here's one, Jordan, for a guest. I'd love to get Phil Dowd, ex-Premier League referee, on the.
Maybe.
Dowd. Why Phil Dowd out of all the referees?
I don't know if you remember it, but the 2010 League Cup final when Vidic should have been sent off in the first 10 minutes. Gave the yellow cards.
I actually don't remember.
Oh,
You brought down Gabby. Obviously, James Miller converted a penalty, but we went on to lose 2-1.
Who went? Did we win that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we won that game.
Just like it's nothing, Jordan.
one of those League Cup ones that we won in this. Yeah, we won a few of those. So.
And I tell you what, if we'd have won that, Martin O'Neill would have stayed. We'd have got the money. Would have kept Milner, Young, Downing.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky, Martin.
If we'd have won that final,
3 months on.
Honestly, would have been top 4. I'm telling you.
Hi Phil, can you come on our podcast, please? My friend thinks you're the reason why Villa's shit.
You're the reason Martin O'Neill left.
It'd be interesting if you could fight your corner on this argument. It'd be a good debate to have. Making up like we wouldn't have gone. We would have took you with 10 men that day.
Should you have a look at the replies from the tweet?
Yeah, go on. Let's read out some replies from Twitter. Thanks
some
to
people's
everyone who got involved.
Dreams guests, wasn't it? And one which I actually found, like, I would have never thought of him, but it's a great shout from Mark Metcalf, Vincent Tan. He'd been a great one to talk about.
With his red Cardiff shirt.
Yeah, how he tried to change the whole club pretty much.
Very odd.
He would have been interesting.
Half an hour at least on his fashion choices, like
sacking Malky Mackay as well.
With a Cardiff shirt on and a blazer.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But he sacked Malky Mackay as well, and Cardiff fans didn't want him to go. All that kind of thing. But he's still there.
Is that when they brought in Solskjaer?
Yes, I think it was that season. Who else would? I think it was because they got relegated that season as well.
And Solskjaer has not won it.
Yeah.
What's Malky Mackay doing now? Does anyone know?
Well, after that text, I don't think anything.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing a lot. No. It's wonderful because someone like him, if he's not doing anything in football, do you reckon he's had to take like a normal job at, like he's a postman somewhere or something? Because he ain't got the jobs anymore, has he?
I don't know. How many jobs
football money don't last forever. Yeah, go on. I want to find out.
I'll have a quick Google. Malky Mackay.
He was at Watford, wasn't he, before Cardiff as well, and
he is
somewhere else.
Currently the performance director of the Scottish FA.
He's got a job. He's got a nice
little desk job. Nice little desk job. But I mean, he's not doing that job that well because their performance is,
not good.
Dreadful.
I mean, two of their best players are both left backs, aren't they? So they're going to progress in much in the future.
Didn't I see Jurgen Klopp on there? Someone
said. We did have a Jurgen Klopp. Ethan Alston said Jurgen Klopp. It's a great shout again. I think he'd be a refreshing figure to have on a podcast. He would give some funny views, definitely. But whether you like him or not, really, it would be quite a watch, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Alex, would you love that? I'm sure you would.
Yeah, well...
No, not actually. I don't want to
that excited.
Actually, forget it.
Just like a knobhead that you're like, oh, well, that's just ruined my whole perception of him.
Yeah. I don't think he would be. I don't think he would be a knobhead. I think you'd like him more, if anything.
They do
he'll sit there watching his clock. Meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes. But I've met Connell. Honestly, best thing in my life.
He's everyone's hero after that 40-yard goal, isn't you?
Yeah.
Not the goalkeeper, though.
Yeah,
But a thing with Klopp as well that I'd want to be finding out about was his man management and why he's so on it and like why he does it as much, like because he is really good with it and how he does it with like every player. He keeps pretty much every player happy. Be interesting to find out.
This is what we always talk about. Like, why has no Dortmund players ever come to Liverpool?
I don't know.
That's what we always think because everyone loves him, but no one seems to want to come play for us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because we've got
Maybe it's so
maybe
it's so intense. It's one of these things that are good at the time, but you're like, wouldn't do it again. Like, it's good when you're in it, but like, don't know if I could put myself through that intensity again.
It sounds a bit like a relationship going on here.
No, yeah, he is. Like,
it's all right when it was last year.
Shake it at the end of the day. Shake his hand, block his number, because he's one of these who probably texts. He definitely sends a New Year's text, Christmas text, birthday text, everything.
Your mum likes him. Your family likes him. But I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
No.
You don't be running 15 miles in pre-season training every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Any more replies?
There was a few Gazzers.
I think we said them, yeah.
Yeah, there was a few Gazzers from Sam Caswell and Ben Caswell. Must be those two must absolutely love Gazza in that family. And then Tom did reply Mourinho and Connell did reply Beckham. But yeah, that's another one as well. I've got to say, because of recent things that have happened to him as well. Ronaldinho, with all the prison stuff as well. It'd be like what's going through your head to get to use like some fake passport, whatever he used, to try and get into a place where you're known everywhere.
Imagine if he's in prison and then you started playing five-a-side and Ronaldinho was on the opposite side.
You'd be like, whoa.
To be fair, I reckon he'd be more scared of them than they will of him, to be honest.
Yeah,
you've just been
like someone.
You've just been sentenced to like 30 years in prison, and then you're like, I should play a bit of football to make me feel better. And you have to mark him for 90 minutes or whatever.
You'd never get the ball back at all. You're doing flicks.
Go on, just to finish the topic off then, should we have one? Can anyone think of anyone that you really wouldn't want on the podcast? Someone you would just hate to be stuck in a conversation with in the world of football?
I could think of like a few, but like Chris Sutton, I just wouldn't. I don't care what you've done, Chris. I don't care what you've done.
Micah Richards, not for me.
Joe Hart. Good
Julian
Lord.
Leicester.
Oh, Joe Hart would be. Oh
Joe
my word,
Hart.
Joe Hart. Just get a life, mate. Come on.
I think Alex McLeish as well. I don't care, Alex.
Just think of like boring people.
Pathetic Alex. Get away.
Yeah,
Don't care what clubs you've managed.
Steve McLaren.
Steve McLaren, don't want to talk to you, Steve.
Not asked. Bye.
Bradford Forest, as was McLeish.
Alan Kirbishley.
I could listen to him.
I'd love to have Ian Dowie on.
Oh yeah, it'd be good.
Sam Allardyce would be a good one to have on.
Yeah.
But then he's always on TalkSport as well.
What
Paul
players
Lambert,
would there be?
Tom.
What's that?
Paul Lambert.
I like Paul Lambert. To be
Yeah,
fair.
I
didn't mind him. I didn't mind him at Villa.
Yeah, I like it.
He didn't do much at you or Stoke though, did he? Really?
Oh, beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, but
Is there any actual current players you wouldn't want on because of what they're like on social media or anything like that?
There's just a lot that are just boring, aren't they?
I don't think Haaland would reply to us. I think Haaland would be given one-word responses.
I don't know if you follow him. I
saw the whole video.
It's Villa. I know it's Villa again, but Tyrone Mings has been doing quite a bit on Twitter recently. He's been getting quite political. He's been getting political and like replying to some MPs, and he's been getting some stick for it, saying he should stick to football. But he seems to talk. I know we don't want to talk about political views, but he seems to talk a bit of sense.
Lolly always puts stuff like that out. Lolly used to always do it. He deleted his Twitter recently, though, like last week.
Jordan's
So
off.
I think something must have gone wrong with him and Twitter. But Lolly used to always do it. So
Lolly seems like he's got a bit about him, though.
yeah, Lolly. Oh, Lolly'd be great to have on a podcast.
From what I've seen on Twitter,
I'd love Lolly on it.
Yeah.
The worst
I don't really
person,
want to talk about politics, though.
the worst person for politics is Joe Lineker.
Yeah, he annoys me.
About
He annoys me, but he tweets like such basic things and gets like 40k retweets and likes. Like he'll tweet good goal Messi.
I said that to Brad last night.
50,000
Gary Lineker could wake up and tweet the sky is blue and gets like 50,000
literally. He could even say
Right.
the sky is red and it would still get 50k likes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to wrap it up here then, boys. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Lovely
joining
stuff.
us again, and thanks to everyone who replied in. And obviously, hopefully, we'll be back with some guests in the next few weeks. If there's anyone else you'd like to see us talk to, anyone in the realms of possibility, give us a shout in, and we'll try and make it happen. So, cheers for joining us.
Lovely
Cheers.
stuff.
Cheers,
Cheers.
boys.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we'll see you again next week.
That was a View from the Stands podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, you can listen to our other episodes on Spotify and YouTube. And if you have any other episode ideas, feel free to get in contact with us via our email address or on our social pages. Until then, thank you.